Hello, welcome back to my YouTube channel and welcome to my August 2022 mortgage overpayment update. So I had to think there because it's been 2 months now since I did a mortgage overpayment update. So I did have plans to do one in the summer, but I was on a holiday and it just passed my mind. So a bit delayed, but I'm going to do 2 months in one in this video. So if you're new to my channel, this is my personal finance blog where I talk through my plans to pay off my mortgage as quickly as possible. I use the word I, but actually there's two of us who are doing this, so me and my partner are both on this journey together. And at the start of this year, we planned to overpay our mortgage by at least £1,000 a month with the hope of paying it off in the next 8 years. Now, I would say we're not totally naive to think that there's not going to be hiccups along the way in months where we're not going to hit that £1,000 overpayment a month, but we've made a good start. And as you can see from the figure so far, we've had 6 months of the year with overpaying by £1,000 per month. So let's jump into the July figures and see how we got on. So at the end of June, we finished with a mortgage balance of £124,357. So in June, this is what the stats look like. The standard overpayment, as always, was £509. We managed to overpay by £1,034, so a bit more than £1,000, which is always good news. To be honest, I think in July we had in mind that obviously it was going to be a bit of an expensive August, an expensive summer, so we thought we'd put a little bit extra towards the mortgage overpayment just in case we didn't hit the August figure. The interest that accrued on the mortgage in the month was £125, and that meant that the end balance for the month was just shy of £123,000. So just as a reminder, the end balance is the start balance plus start balance, take off the standard payment, take off the overpayment, but add on the interest that was accrued. So that's how we arrive at the 122,939 figure. And the total balance paid off the year is the start minus the end balance. That was total balance paid off in the month, is £1,400, which again, really good news. You can see the figures so far this year. We've had a few under 1,400, but mostly it's always been over £1,400 a month paid off the mortgage. So yeah, as you can see, July went well, still on track. Let's have a look at August. So August, we started with 122,939, knocked off the standard payment, which was 509. Then still managed to overpay by over £1,000 a month, so that's £1,010. And the interest that accrued was £120, so that meant that the final balance at the end of August was £121,540, and just shy of £1,400 paid off the balance. So if I just remove this here, you can see the totals for the year so far. So we started with a balance of £132,824 on the mortgage. The overpayment, my words are getting muddled today, you'll have to bear with us. The standard payment, so this is what we were contracted to pay our mortgage provider each month, of £509. Over the 8 months, that came to £4,072. But the overpayments that were made is £8,189. So yeah, it's a bit crazy because it's like we voluntarily paid £8,000 more than we need to. So we could have theoretically had that £8,000 on a holiday if we wanted, or bought something nice with it. But anyways, it's investing for the future is the way I look at it. And the total interest was £977. So I think I mentioned this before, but we've been really fortunate that our interest rate is just over 1%, which is locked in for the next 4.5 years. So we've been really fortunate with that, and it means that the interest doesn't really accrue back quickly. But when we come to the end of the fix, if interest rates are still high, then we would be paying, say, 3 or 4% potentially. So that's something that I have to bear in mind when thinking about the interest figures. And yeah, so the end balance, as I said, 121,540. So it means that over £11,000 has come off our mortgage balance this year, which is brilliant because this is the first year that we've been overpaying our mortgage so aggressively. In previous years, we've only managed to shift maybe £4,000, £5,000, £6,000 off the mortgage balance in a year. So 11,000 feels like a real leap forward and a real step forward in tackling this mortgage. So really good news. So then just two final stats I'll mention. So the percentage of the mortgage we've paid off so far in 2022 is 8.5%. And the total overpayment so far, so this is the amount that we've overpaid in the lifetime of our mortgage. So what we overpaid last year, the year before, added on to what we've overpaid so far this year, comes to just under £17,500, which is amazing. You know, that's a figure that I'm really, really proud of. I think when you do things incrementally and you do it each month, you forget about how that all builds up. Because, you know, tomorrow, if you said to me, can you get £17,500 together to overpay your mortgage, I just wouldn't have it. You know, I don't have that in savings. But because I've done it month on month, it's really had a big impact. The next sort of milestone that I'm aiming for, so on the balance side, I want to be under £120,000, and on this overpayment side, I'm looking forward to when we reach the £20,000 mark, which hopefully we'll reach by the end of the year. So as I touched on at the beginning of the video, you know, our plan, you know, one of our plans at the moment is to continue overpaying at this rate, and being mortgage free in less than 8 years. That would be amazing. I do have a few different scenarios that we have in a spreadsheet. So we might overpay like this for maybe another year, and then we may taper back some of them overpayments so that we can, you know, really enjoy kind of a big holiday and so on. And I think what I'm trying to say is it's trying to understand where that sweet spot is. In the past year, you know, I've been on holiday a couple of times, which has been really good. But there is that element that we have this overpayments as a focus, so we don't really splurge too much in certain areas. It would be nice at some point to have maybe even 3 to 6 months where we're just not thinking about the overpayments too much. So it's just about being kind to ourselves and just knowing that this is a marathon and not a sprint. So, you know, if we do get fatigued from constantly, you know, saying goodbye to £1,000 of our kind of disposable income each month to put into the mortgage, if we do get fatigued by that, then we might want to consider just taking a few months off. But it's just things that I'm thinking of. You know, we're not at that stage yet. It'd be really good to know if anyone's had any similar experience with sort of mortgage overpayment, burnout potentially, and yeah, just let us know in the comments below if you've had a solution to that, you know, if you've taken a few months off and then went back to it, and if that's helped. But yeah, I mean, the summary from this video is that everything's going well. I'm really proud of us. You know, it's easy to say at the start of a year with a New Year's resolution that you're gonna overpay the mortgage by at least £1,000 a month, but we actually have stuck to it. And yeah, it's just meant that we've got a lot of confidence in ourselves overpaying this mortgage. So really proud, and yeah, I'll see you on the next video.